Welcome back to Let's Be Real. You know, we've all felt worthless or hopeless or even useless at times in our lives. But God has promised us that we have a special purpose. You have been created by God and for God. And you are not an accident. You're not a mistake. You are God's masterpiece, handcrafted with pride and joy. And God has planned out good for us to do, and He's planned it from the beginning of time. I frequently walk through the bush looking for windfalls or wood that loggers have left behind because it's worthless to them. Loggers are looking for the best pieces out of the tree. Usually it's the pieces from the stump up to lengths of 8 to 10 feet. And then whatever is deemed worthless is left on the ground to rot. And I like to take the opportunity to go out and find unique pieces of wood that are considered worthless by other people and create something unique and functional out of them. Things like charcuterie boards, coffee tables, office desks, holders for essential oils, things that have a purpose. You know, Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 to 10 says, "By grace you have been saved through faith. And this is not your own doing. It is the gift of God, not a result of works so that no one may boast. For we are His workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them." God calls us His workmanship, His artwork. We are something crafted with skill and a purpose by God. Specifically, we are created in Christ Jesus for good works. Now, good works do not give us salvation, but they are absolutely meant to be the result of salvation. God's grace is meant to be a catalyst to living a passionate life that bears fruit for the eternal value. You aren't meant to go through the motions, and you weren't created to live a normal life whose impact only lasts for this short life on earth. God in His grace and love has called you to more. Now, I do understand that it can be difficult to understand God's heart in wanting to use you. For some, we write ourselves off as too sinful or weak or selfish or inept to be used by God. Still, others of us believe that serving God is less fun, less fulfilling, and far stranger than anything that we'd like to do. Ephesians 2:10 is clear that you were created in Christ Jesus for good works. You won't find fulfillment in anything else besides the work of God because it's not what you were made for. Material possessions apart from the provision of God, they become more like weights tying us down to the cares and the ways of the world than a source of satisfaction. Spending your life working to become successful, appreciated, and loved in the world's eyes is more like running on a treadmill than a path to abundant life. If you want to live an abundant life, you have to allow God to use you. And He wants you to have eternal reward for the things that you've done here on earth. Why? Because He's a good Father who longs to give good gifts to His children. He wants you to stop segregating your life into God time and me time and start living in continual communion with Him. He wants your time at work and with your friends and church and driving, resting, relaxing, and having fun to be filled with the fullness of life that comes from doing life with Him. So don't allow yourself or Satan or anyone else to say that your life has no purpose, that your life has no meaning or value. If you are alive and breathing today, I can assure you that God is working in you and working through you, because God promises that He will fulfill your destiny. You know, just as each one of these pieces of wood are unique, God has made you unique. So don't forget that. God bless.